more for you, you feel it. You know it. This is your life, and it's time to go from contender to champion. This is The Show with John Madsen.
Welcome back to The Show, everybody. I'm your host, John Madsen. This is The Show. Welcome, guys. Going into May of 2020, I'm super stoked about the future. While seemingly a lot of people are up in arms over the coronavirus, there's a lot of shit going on, and it's a good time to remind you guys of something super, super important. Controlling your emotional state is the most important thing that you can do right now. Being 100% responsible for the way you feel is imperative. While 99% of people out in the world right now are reacting to things they hear on the news, to things their friends say, to things they see on Facebook, they are not in control. And I'm not telling you that this is an easy thing to just tell yourself to be in control. It is a skill set to be able to control your emotional state. We've talked about that in so many episodes. I'm not going to go into details. One of the ways that we can control our emotional state is by controlling our physiology. How do we control our physiology? It's what we put into our mouths. It's if we're exercising or not. It's if we're sitting on the couch just throwing down bags of potato chips watching CNN or Fox News. You're going to feel different based on what you do. You're going to feel different based on the foods you eat. Now, in addition to that, your thought process is going to be dictated by your internal representation, what you are filtering and creating your own reality. Because every single person has their own reality. They have their own map of the world. They're filtering and distorting and generalizing all the things that are going on and creating their own reality. That's why some people are seemingly one step in front of the other, move forward, crush business, crush fitness, keep fucking going, let the world do what it's going to do, I'm going to fucking win. And that's why other people are sitting on their couch, feeding their bodies with bullshit and listening and feeding their minds to even more bullshit. And so the negativity, the doomsday, the everything that you don't want to be is on the world center stage. And it's hard to get out of that. It's hard to get out of that. It's hard to focus right now on what you want to happen. It's hard to focus not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. It's hard to wonder what happens if the shutdown keeps lasting months and months and months, what's going to happen. But I promise you guys something. I 100% promise you guys something. Some people are going to win no matter what. And I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Some people are going to keep winning. Those people are not focused on what the losers are going to focus on. And losers, I don't mean you're a loser person. The people who are going to lose in this situation. And that's unfortunate. There's going to be so many people who lose that seemingly don't deserve to lose. And I'm not saying anybody deserves to lose or to win. What I'm saying is you have a lot more control than you think. It's going to come down to two things. Whether a person can stay resourceful or whether a person is going to be unresourceful. And what I'm talking about that is one of the basics of Tony Robbins' teachings, who's been a mentor of mine for a long time, but I've gone way deeper in this realm. Controlling your emotional frame, being resourceful, being motivated, seeking opportunity, focusing on what you want versus being unresourceful. This is the worst thing in the world. We're doomed. Business is going to go broke. We don't have any money. Oh my God, what are we going to do? You can't get out of that, guys. You cannot get out of that. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You think it, you believe it, it becomes you. Now, that's not to say that everybody should just be positive and not worry about anything. You can be aware of what's going on, but you can control your focus if you practice. If you practice. It's something that's really, really, really hard to teach in one conversation, but that's why I have 120 episodes. There's nuggets in these episodes, and a lot of the shit is saying the same thing. Sometimes I feel like a broken fucking record. I'm like, I got to make an episode today. What else can I say? There's 120 episodes that talk about all of this stuff. But my purpose right now is to help people shift, from being unresourceful to resourceful. Because it's impossible for you to win if you're going to stay in an unresourceful state. Happiness is a state of being. Joy is a state of being. One of the things I've done in the past, and the real topic of today's show, is learning from what you value. And here's the assignment that I was given by one of my mentors, and I'm not going to go into details because it's a little bit more than what I'm going to give you because I don't want to complicate it, but you can get a lot out of what I'm about to share with you. In different categories, relationship with your wife, family, fitness and health would be one, business and wealth would be one. One of the work that I've done was in each category, ask myself what is important about this category. See what pops up. You see, most people aren't in alignment with their unconscious mind. They don't have access to it because they don't trust it. And the unconscious doesn't trust you. It's like how many people know what to do in terms of fitness, but they just don't do it. They keep telling themselves that this is the week, or I'm going to start on Monday. This is the year. And they never, ever do it and create this pattern of not doing what they say they want. Doing some of this value work is extremely beneficial here. But I want to share something that I learned, that I got out of it, that I think is going to be super, super helpful for you. Going through this list of 25 things, you want 25 things per category. If you just want to do fitness and health, that's 100% fine. You start there. Let's just start there. Ask yourself, what's important to me in context of fitness and health? And then you write. And you don't think about what you're writing, you just write till you get 25 things. And you're going to start coming up with words like confidence, happiness, joy, fun, whatever it is, whatever comes to your mind. And then after you get those 25 things, you're going to be surprised at what you saw on the paper. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go back and list those 25 things, put them in order, because they're not going to come out in order. You're going to think of things, they're going to be scattered. But then I want you to put all the 25 things in order. And once you do that, you're going to see what's truly important to you about the thing you say you want. Whether that's a better relationship with your wife, whether that's more health and more fitness, whether that's more money. What's important to me about money? What's important to me about fitness? Whatever value you want to, whatever category you want to work on, you want 25 things. And I just want you to do that step, and then I want you to list in order what's important to you about it, because that's peeling back layers to why you want something. A couple interesting things that I found, revelations that are super important. When I went through these categories, a lot of the same important things were showing up when I did it for relationships, when I did it for health, when I did it for money. A lot of the same things were near the top. And here's the learning of today's podcast. Here's the learning. Happiness, peace, joy, security, whatever you desire, depending on you. The thing you have to remember, and the thing that will ultimately set you free, is that the destination that you seek is already inside you. It's already there. Happiness is a state of being. Peace is a state of being. Freedom is a state of being. Once you get something, a six-pack, $1 million, you think that the thing that's important to you is going to automatically happen. You think you'll experience peace if you just had $1 million. But the true reality is that if you don't experience peace now, you're not going to experience it with the $1 million. You think that a six-pack on the beach is going to bring you happiness. But if you're not happy now, a six-pack on the beach is not going to give you happiness. Maybe for a minute, maybe for a day, maybe for a week, maybe for 6 weeks, possibly even a year. But eventually the truth will come out. And so what I want you to think about today, and the reason why this is so important for you to put on paper, is for you to look at it, understand why the thing is important to you in the first place. Maybe that gives you motivation to actually fucking follow through. But the more important thing is to realize that almost everything on that list is a choice, is a state of being, is a feeling that you can feel today. And if you feel it today, it's going to make getting to the end result that much more enjoyable, and you're going to get there that much faster. Because the biggest lie that you ever tell yourself is that you're going to be happy when X happens. You're going to be free when X happens. You're going to feel peace when X happens. Because when you achieve that thing, if you achieve that thing, and you probably won't if you don't realize it, but if you do, it's going to be a sad day for you. It's going to be a day that you reached your goal and you're still not that thing you thought you were going to be. Because you thought that thing lived outside of you when it was within the whole time. You have to start by feeding that internal desire, controlling it, so that when you win, you can feel what you've always had, magnified a little bit. That's deep, guys. That's deep because most people never realize it. They're always going to have date night when they have more time. But when they have more time, they don't do date night. I'm guilty of this stuff too, guys. They're going to be happy if they could just lose the last 10 pounds. Then they lose the last 10 pounds and they're still not happy. They're going to be more confident if they just did the thing they said they were going to do. 5K, 10K, marathon. But then they do it and they're still not confident. So they're chasing, like a hamster on a wheel, fleeting feelings that they've never took the time to build up. When I coach people, I make them very, very aware of this. Very aware. In marketing for fitness, sometimes you have to sell the dream. The feeling it feels like to take your shirt off at the beach and have bricks for abs. And people can get a glimpse of that and think, oh my God, if I could do that, all my troubles would go away. But that's never the case. That's never the case. Kobe Bryant said it better than I could ever say it. Tragic. I can barely watch the clip anymore. It was my favorite clip. But when I turn it on, I get tears in my eyes. I don't get tears in my eyes. I literally have tears falling down my face. When he was speaking to his daughters, when he was getting honored at halftime, he told them that the pursuit is the dream. The pursuit is the dream, not the destination. The destination that you want, the $1 million, the six-pack abs, I want all of those things too. But the real magic is when you fall in love with the process and you fall in love with the pursuit and you take pride in the pursuit and you take happiness in the pursuit and you feel that freedom in your heart before you ever get the thing. That's true. That will live with you forever. Because if it's just about the thing, if it's just about the championship, if it's just about the body, if it's just about the money, if it's just about the job promotion, you're going to be miserable. Guys, do the inner work. Do the inner work. Change inside out. Because when you change your internal world, your external world changes before your eyes. We're all magicians. We're all infinite. But when you seek change externally and do no work internally, you're sadly mistaken and you're going to be sadly disappointed. I urge you to do the value work that I told you on this podcast. It'll be enlightening for you to see what jumps out on a piece of paper. And when you see those things, I want you to realize that you can control all those things right now. All those live inside of you right now. Do the inner work. Go all in on yourself. Become a champion on the inside and live a championship life on the outside.
Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of The Show with John Madsen. The greatest compliment that you could give us is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all of your friends. So please go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and review, and then share it online with everyone that you know. Make sure to tag John as well. He loves to hear from listeners of the show. The links for all of his socials and iTunes are in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to engage John for anything related to his coaching, consulting, or programs, please visit johnmadsen.com for everything you'd need to know on how to engage with John offline. And lastly, thank you for your time, your attention, and your consideration. This is The Show.